What's going on, travelers? Mira here, back again with another video. So today I woke up and I was looking at the MiHoYo website when I chanced upon the developers discussion that they have posted. So what this talks about is some of the quality of life changes that MiHoYo has introduced and is going to be coming in version 1.1. So this is just a brief introduction, and I'll link this website in the video description so you can check it out if you're interested. And this is gonna be a quick summary and as well as my thoughts and opinions on the upcoming changes. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first point says, in version 1.1, we have decreased the original resin requirement in Battle Pass weekly missions from 1,600 to 1,200. Alright, if you don't know what this point is talking about, it's basically the Battle Pass over here. So as you can see from the Battle Pass, there's a weekly mission, and if you click on it, you can see that there's a mission that requires you to use a total of 1,600 original resin. So this would not be possible if you do not use Primo Gems or fragile resins to top up your resin. The normal regeneration rate does not allow you to get 1,600 resin, so you cannot spend 1,600 resin. So the change, right, they're gonna be decreasing that 1,600 to 1,200, which is great because now free-to-play players, they don't have to spend their Primo Gems topping up their resin just for this weekly mission, and they can complete this mission without topping up, and that's great. And here's the next point. Furthermore, travelers will be able to store up to a maximum of 160 original resin, increased from the current limit of 120. So, as you probably know, guys, we have a upper limit of 120 resin as of now, and that is gonna change to 160. So, people can actually wait a little longer before their resin caps out, so you are able to go away from the game for a little bit longer before your resin fully caps out. And I think that's a great thing, especially for people who have other things to do and who are busy. They can focus on doing other things first and then come back a little later to clear their resin. So that is great. It's an amazing change, especially for not so active players. And then the cons for active players like myself, and I'm sure many other people, this actually doesn't change anything. Because the regeneration rate, they have not talked about it, so I assume that the regeneration rate for the resins is gonna be the same. And what that means is you're still gonna be getting the same amount of resin, so one resin every 8 minutes. So the upper limit doesn't really do much for us, but I can see why this is a good thing because, like I mentioned just now, even though we clear our resins all the time and we always make sure that it's on recharge, it's still a good thing because now I can wait a little longer. Yeah, but that's about it. So just a little quality of life change. I don't see too much use or too much impact that this will have on the game. So that's my thoughts and opinions on it. And then the next point they talk about is they are in the process of developing a key binding and controller setup function, part of which will go live in version 1.1. And they're working hard to complete the remaining functions, which will be available in a later version. So that's really nice, especially for people who want to change their key bindings, or you're on controller, you want to change your controller bindings. Personally for me, I've already gotten used to the original key bindings, so I'm not gonna be changing anything, I believe. But yeah, I can see why this will be useful, and it's definitely a welcome change. And then the third point is, in version 1.1, we have added new filters for artifacts based on their basic attributes. Now travelers will be able to easily filter artifacts by attributes. Okay, so what this point talks about, I believe, is this thing. So when you go to artifacts and you want to change your artifact, you can see that you can filter by set. So it shows you what all these artifacts you have per set. So lucky dog, you have all your lucky dogs, and then instructor, you have all your instructor. So I believe what they're gonna do is add a third filter, and instead of filtering by set, they are gonna allow you to filter by main attribute. Okay, so for example, they can filter by HP or attack percent or something like that, which I definitely see a use for, especially in the lower levels where you don't care about set effects and you just want to get attack percent, for example, or crit rate or something like that, and that will be really useful. So that's a very good change for us. So for the fourth point is traversing the world is time consuming. I want to be able to set my own teleport waypoints for areas I frequently visit, and they have developed an item that provides this kind of function, which will be available for free in a new system, and travelers can look out for this in version 1.1. Okay, so this is an amazing thing, okay, for me, because this means that we can go and set custom teleport waypoints, so called. So we will be able to teleport to anywhere we want, and that will be really good for boss farming, mining, and even getting plants like Cecilia or violet grass, and you know, all that kind of plants. So it's really good, and it's a really nice quality of life change for us players, where we are able to do our dailies and collect all our collectibles more efficiently. So yes, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is the best change that they're gonna be introducing. Although I am a supporter of you just walking around, but I can see why people need this function, because people are busy and they have things to do and they don't want to be walking all around. So now you can just teleport directly to where you want to go and do your thing and then move on to the next location, and that is great. So for the fifth point, it says it's annoying to have to select equipped artifacts and weapons to find out which character has them equipped. And in 1.1, small character avatars will appear next to the icons of equipped artifacts and weapons, allowing travelers to know exactly which characters and have which artifacts and weapons equipped at a glance. So what this means is, if you go to your inventory and you select the artifact tab, you can see that your artifacts, you have to click on each of them to show which character is currently using them. And what is gonna happen is that they're gonna change that so that a small character, like for example, this is on Diluc, so maybe a small Diluc avatar will appear at the corner instead of this very simple icon that shows you that it's equipped. So I think that's a welcome change, but I would like to see other QOL changes like I talked about previously, such as equipment lock. I think that's very important for a lot of us. We want to be able to lock our equip, so that we don't need to individually deselect them, especially when we're enhancing. And yeah, so that's about it. And then the last point is damage calculation for shield. So someone asked, how is damage calculated when I have more than one shield, and which shield sustain damage first? So the short answer is both your shields will take damage. For example, if you're using the character Beidou and both her tight collar active at 100 and Noelle's breastplate at 20. So you have two shields, the tight collar shield and Noelle's E, I believe. If a monster deals 10 damage to Beidou, tight collar will take 10 damage, while the breastplate will also take 10 damage. So alternatively, if a monster deals 50 damage, then the Beidou's shield will take 50 damage, while Noelle's breastplate will be exhausted and be destroyed. So even if you have 2 shields and let's say 100 on Beidou shield and 20 on Noel shield, they don't add up. So it is something to think about when you're using multiple tankers or multiple characters with shield. There is no reason to stack them because they take their damage simultaneously. So the rest of the article I'll leave you guys to read for yourself. And like I said, I'll be putting the link in the description below. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.